Hi everybody, my name is Lee Beatty and I want to welcome you guys to this quick presentation. I'm doing this very differently than most people will probably expect me to. Most people will do a PowerPoint based presentation, but I'm going to do this right now so you can actually see my face. You can see that I have emotions, and yeah, you can kind of follow me, go from there. So, all right guys, so why are you here? You're here because you probably saw something I posted on Facebook, Google+, YouTube, or maybe you just kind of stumbled across this and you saw something about LinkedIn. You're very lucky because right here below, I'm actually going to be giving 100 people access to this course that I just put together. I mean, literally just polished it off, just put this course together, and okay, something's going on here. One second, folks. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, sorry about this, folks. What happened here is I totally forgot that I put this on autoplay. And I'm getting feedback right now. So sorry about that. I'm doing this all by myself. I'm doing it on the fly, and I'm catching everything here. Okay. So what I'm doing at this point right now is I've opened up a course that I literally just completed. And for those of you who are not aware of what I've been doing, I've been updating everybody on my LinkedIn status over, really, there was a 7-day period where I was doing a 7-day case study, and I was only doing 30 minutes of work a day. But before I get into that, who am I and why should you trust me? My name is Lee Beatty. I've been marketing online for over 7 years. I have an absolute passion to help people succeed online. I offer all sorts of products, services, and recently I stumbled upon really why I should be paying attention to LinkedIn. More importantly, the date change for me was September 3rd of this year, 2014. I did an actual video. I made some adjustments to my profile, and I literally submitted that to LinkedIn, and I got like just a little tiny little bump in my profile views, and I saw that people started to want to connect with me a little bit more than normal. And I thought to myself, wow, that wasn't that hard. I mean, I did a pretty lengthy hangout, and what happened as a result was it piqued my curiosity because I had changed my profile image. And for those of you that have seen my image either on Facebook, you've seen on on LinkedIn, you've seen it on any of these, I have all those little social icons, and I have all those things out there that really it's for the purposes of this actual LinkedIn case study. Well, what I did was, I wanted to kind of really test out to see if my theories actually worked and my hypothesis would work. And something, folks, in 7 days and 30 minutes a day, I absolutely blew my expectations away. And my expectations prior to that were pretty high because I started with 63 connections and I had 1 million people in my network. And I'm going to tell you what I got to here in a minute because I'm actually going to show you. But folks, I've been doing marketing online for, like I said, over 7 years. I started with traditional web development. A couple of years ago, I got hacked. I lost an enormous amount of websites, lost a lot of confidence. I had to regroup. And I mean, I'm sure many of you can probably relate if you've ever done any type of marketing online, or if you've ever, made any attempt to want to make money online. I was one of those guys. I was working a lot, and I was doing field service engineering work. And then eventually, when I got hacked, I was a safety coordinator at a very, very really established brand that you all know, if you all know, like, and trust. Excuse me. So what happened was I had to take a little time off to actually correct this huge error. And as a matter of fact, I tried to come back, and my job was gone. So just because of my commitment to the company, they probably didn't think it was there or whatever the case. They thought my focus was redirected, and it was because I lost hundreds of sites. So what that did is it forced me to look in other directions to make money online, which thankfully it really pushed me in the landscaping of mobile apps, book publishing, social media, just to name a few. And after that, it's absolutely changed the game for me. Now, where this is going to be important for you is what I actually am presenting to you right now is something I just changed. This is something that I just wasn't having success for years, 3 to 4 years. And I literally just changed this a month ago. And I'm going to show you verbatim. I've actually been logged in on another incognito window because, I just wanted to show you, hey, I don't know what it looks like. I just logged in. I started setting all this stuff up so that I can actually present this to you and tell you a little bit about what it is that I'm going to talk to you about today. So what is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the largest professional network, social media network in the world. Okay, it's very different than Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest. It is the largest professional network in the world. So for a lot of you who are using Facebook, like I'm using right now I'm actually streaming right now live on Facebook, Google Plus, and YouTube. And let me get a little housekeeping out of the way here, since I actually kind of went into that. If you're here on Facebook, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click above. I want you to click like, and I want you to click get notifications. Folks, that's going to be one of the things that a lot of you who use Facebook, a lot of you are not doing right now. So I'm going to actually get you into the habit of actually doing that. So when you click like, you click get notifications. On this actual fan page that I'm actually doing this on, I give a lot of free content away. But today you're here because you're looking for a very, very special opportunity to see how I expanded my social media network, my professional network, if you will. Excuse me, folks. I'm gonna sit down here, get excited, and then I start to, I got to sit down. So anyway, so what happened as a result? I wasn't having any success on LinkedIn, and then I watched this webinar. There was a gentleman by the name of Greg Wells. I don't personally know him. I was invited to it, and I just never had any type of a real presence on LinkedIn. I've been on there for quite a long time, probably as long as I've been on. Actually, I've been on LinkedIn longer than I've been on Pinterest, and I just wasn't getting the type of results on LinkedIn that I was on all these other social networks. You go to Pinterest, I've got several thousand followers. You go to Pinterest, on Twitter, I've got several accounts, and they all total over hundreds of thousands of followers. You go to Facebook, I can't even tell you how many likes, how many fans I got on across all those fan pages there, and that's just a few things. Well, after I watched this presentation, I took from it. It's like, man, it's pretty interesting. Some interesting things in there that I took from his presentation. But then I had this kind of aha moment. Okay, September 3rd is that aha moment. I had actually made a video like something like this, even though I'm streaming this live on a Facebook fan page right now, and you're seeing this live on a Facebook, app. Okay, called 22 Social. And for those of you who are wondering who I am, I want you to Google 22 Social Review. Okay, that's who I am. You'll know exactly what I mean by that in the very first result for that. I'm a big fan of using 22 Social. And the page that you're actually seeing this on right now, if you're on Facebook, you're actually seeing this on a 22 Social page. So as a result, during all this time on LinkedIn, I just never had any success like I was on Twitter, like I was on Facebook, not like I was on Pinterest. And after I watched this webinar, I made some tweaks. I tweaked my image. If you go to linkedin.com/in/sharebeaten. For those of you don't worry about it. I'm actually going to show you here in a little bit, you know, what I'm talking about, what I did with that. And I changed a couple things in my profile after listening to it because I thought, wow, that was really interesting. I've never been one to really hear people talking about increasing their network and expanding their network on LinkedIn. So, you know, for me, you know, I could only imagine what it was like, you know, for like say getting YouTube views or, you know, something that was like Twitter or, you know, Pinterest or something like that. What happened as a result after I made these changes and I made that video on September 3rd, I didn't come back to my LinkedIn account until the 13th of September. When I came back, I saw this little kind of spike, and I'm like, for me at the time, that was a major spike. I mean, it was 17 profile views, and I thought, well, wow, I only shared a video. I didn't do anything special. I didn't, you know, because all these actions I took before was getting, and I'll show you. Don't worry. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you actual proof of what I'm talking about. Well, that I kind of had this aha moment, like, huh, that worked, and here, let me try something else. Let me do 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day. And I just backed off. I waited, you know, I didn't even think about it. I just didn't even think about LinkedIn at all because it was something that, you know, to me, you know, I had just changed my profile over. I just made some modifications, and I just really spruced up my profile. Really, I guess is what you know you want to take from that. And I kid you not, folks, several days later I came back and I saw the biggest spike I've ever seen on LinkedIn. And I documented, I was like, wow, that was really easy stuff that I just did there. Why is it increasing so easily? Why are these people, and I thought, maybe it's my profile image, or maybe the way I wrote my summary, whatever the case. So what I started to do is, you know, like I said, I did 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day. And I saw this spike. So at that point, I was convinced, you know, there's something to this. There's something to what I just did there, and I need to do a case study on that. Okay? The case study is something I did for 7 days, and I gave myself a 30-minute time limit. I didn't want to get bogged down. Because I have a lot of other projects going on, writing a couple books that I have, you know, going on right now. I've got another product that I've got coming out, and I've got a few things that I'm actually doing. Folks, I took 30 minutes a day for 7 days, and I kid you not, I went from 63 connections, okay, just think of them as like friends in Facebook or anything else. And I went from 63 connections. Okay, first, before I even get into what I got to, this was my expectation. This was my lofty, lofty, lofty expectation. My lofty expectation was, you know what, if I can actually get 1,000, you know what, I'm going to shoot for the stars. I'm going to go for 1,250 connections. If I can get that, then, you know what, I swung for the fences. I overachieved. Okay? Because I had 1 million professionals in my network, my goal was 15 million. I mean, like I said, folks, those were astronomical numbers for me, okay, at the time, okay? If I can do that in 7 days, I thought that would have been the creme de la creme. Folks, after 7 days, I not only hit those numbers, but I far surpassed those numbers. I literally, rather than doing the 1,250, which was my big number, which is my big astronomical number, I literally, right now as I stand, I'm going to show you guys physical proof. You know, last time I checked, I had 1,970 or something like that. I just logged in. And okay, and so that's the connection. So I increased over 1,900 connections. The next thing that I did, which I thought was just incredible, I thought hitting 15 million connections in my network, my professional network, was something that was, you know, you see all these people, it's like, man, there's no way I can do that, but I'm going to try. Folks, I can tell you right now, when I hit that 1,970 or so, I hit the 26 million professional network. I nearly doubled what I thought that I can do in 7 days at 30 minutes a day of work. I kid you not. And the thing is, it shocked me because I thought this can't be real. This can't be real to be getting this many professional connections. So let me rephrase that for a lot of you so that you guys can understand what those connections are. Those connections are leads. Say it again. They're leads. These are people that you can network with, that you can message. These are people that you can interface with and potentially sell them on your products and your services. Think about that for a second. What I did in 7 days, and after I finished my 7-day case study, I literally, and I'm going to show you there, I had not even really addressed it since. I took a few days because I actually drove over to visit some family, and I've just been handling some personal things. And folks, this thing has been building on autopilot for me. Last night, I will say this, I did a 3-minute and roughly 15-minute session where I did something like what I described in this product below. And what that is, it's going to blow your mind. I know it is. I know, because every day when I actually do these types of things, these small, scalable tasks, it changes my network. I mean, and I don't even have to try. And that right there is simplicity and being able to build your network on autopilot. But first, before I even get into all of that, let me tell you what all the criteria that this had to meet, my case study had to meet, just so that you know this in advance. First, it had to be free, meaning I couldn't go buy a premium membership on LinkedIn because to me, I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to see if LinkedIn is legitimate. Okay, there are people that are going to tell you, go get the premium membership. That's what I've been told. I mean, I've been told in order to have success, you need to get the premium membership. Okay, that was my first objective. Remember, my lofty goal was 1,250 connections, and I didn't. That was like right now standing on planet Earth and hitting the moon. I didn't think that was possible. Okay, it is possible. I did it. It's possible. Okay, the second thing is it has to be easy enough that no matter what your skill level, whether you're, somebody like me who's been online for a little while, maybe you got more experience than me, or maybe you're just brand new. Maybe you just climbed out from a rock and you're just thinking about, hey, maybe I should dabble into LinkedIn and don't need to know anything about it. Okay, it had to be so easy that no matter what your skill level, you can achieve this. Okay, that was my next, parameter that I had to set for myself. The next thing is everything that I do has to be not only duplicatable, meaning it's easy enough that you can do it, but no matter where you are, you can do this. Okay, but scalable. That's the other parameter to that. So if you want to start off and this is easy enough to do that you can take, say, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you could do it. You can scale up your effort. Even if you want to do it once a week, if you want to do it once a day, you want to do it, I did it 30 minutes a day for that 7-day case study and have not touched it since I stopped that case study until last night. I did about 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And I'm telling you, I have literally, I'm a firm believer that you should take account of your time. That's the other thing. This has to be easy enough that no matter what, if you're on a limited time schedule, you should be able to do this. Okay. The other thing is it's got to be able to work on what you're watching on now, on a laptop, on a smartphone, on a tablet. It's got to be able to work on all devices. Now, if you have a flip phone, you don't have internet connection, I'm sorry. That's about the only thing that I don't, I only used it on things that have an internet connection that I can actually, use and interface with. The other thing is It doesn't require a premium membership. Okay, I can't state that enough. All right. So what I started to see, and believe me, every day I have video proof every day as this thing started. It just started ramping, and it started ramping, and it started ramping, and I was just like blinking, like holy crap, this is happening. I didn't even have to pay for this traffic. I didn't have to pay for a LinkedIn advertising. I didn't have to do all the things I'd have to do on Facebook. I didn't have to do the things I'd have to do on Twitter. I didn't. Okay. And the greatest part about it is I stumbled on these hidden groups of networkers, okay, along the way that I kid you not. I mean, now I'm tapped into these people and they request me as friends now. I don't even have to worry about it anymore. And like I said, I did 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Why 3 minutes and 15 seconds? Because that's what I put into my phone last night, and that's what I did. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right, Lee. I don't believe you. That's too good to be true. Good. I want you to feel that way. I want you to think, you know what? I don't believe anything you're saying, man, because I'm getting ready to prove it to you. So, like I said, all the things I've done, folks, online, you know, I'm a firm believer in that you have to test your theory. Okay, your time is worth just as much as the money you put into things. Okay, if you know anything about what I think in life and in your marketing, you know, your bank account and things that you're doing is your true indicator of whether or not you're having success. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So let's see here. Okay, let me look here. So let me do this. I'm going to check that out. Okay, so here we go, folks. All right, I'm getting ready to. Mind you, I'm doing this by myself, so I don't necessarily have somebody to help me out with this. I didn't ask. I wanted to take action. I'm an action taker. So you should be seeing this screen by now, which you are, which is great. So I'm going to go into LinkedIn right now. For those of you wondering what I'm in incognito. Okay. All right. So I was obviously just on. It was kind of doing this thing. I'm going to hit home. And remember, I want to show you something here. My profile. This is where you can see what I'm talking about here. Check this out, folks. See this right here? Okay, see this time frame is August 31st to September 6th. On the 3rd of September is when I had that aha moment. In through here, this is when I actually adjusted my profile. See here? I adjusted. You see where I had the 20 profile views? I had a little spike there. Okay, that's the biggest spike I've ever had up to that point. If you actually looked at it over the duration of the time I've been on LinkedIn. All right. Then it kind of ramped down. On the 3rd, I realized I had this little spike here, and I thought, holy crap. So I did this video. I did a hangout like, hey, I told everybody what I did over here, making these little tweaks where I got 20 profile views. Didn't even think anything of it, you know, because I really never got a whole lot of action from people on LinkedIn. And look at this, the second highest spike I ever had up to that point. And if you look, you see, pretty consistent, you know. I never really had a whole lot of traffic. And this is the last few months, okay. When I did that video, I saw the second largest spike I ever had. So that piqued my curiosity. So mind you, I did this on the 3rd. On the 13th, actually, is when I checked this. And I noticed I had an aha moment. It's like, wait a minute here. I changed my profile, which gave me the largest spike I've ever seen. Then I put out a video, waited 10 days, and I saw profile views. Essentially a spike. That might not seem like a lot to you, but it was to me. That was that, like, you've seen all these numbers, but before that, this looked like a big spike to me. You know, it just did. Then what I did was I did 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day. Left it alone. I sat there. I did one on, I believe it was the 15th, and I did it on the 17th, and I got 94 profile views, actions taken. And you see that 410. At that point, that's when I actually, right after the 20th, is when I put something out there and told everybody, hey, I just figured out something with LinkedIn. Opt in there, and I gave them a link on, you know, to, hey, check this out. On the 24th, as you can see here, because I didn't do anything the 20th, I took a few days. On the 24th is when I decided to, you know, I had that, you know what, I'm going to try this out. On the 24th of September, I'm going to try this out. So I started my case study that day, and I finished on the, it was either first or the second. And I have not touched this since until last night. And that's where probably these profile views came from, where it's just been residual, you know. So I wanted to give a true, what can 7 days do, and then take time off just to show you. I mean, most people say, hey, keep ramping, keep ramping, keep ramping. I wanted to show how a 7-day spurt can have that much of a difference in your business, in your profiles, and your profile views, and your connections, everything. Look at this, folks. 7 days, and look at that spike. And then I haven't done anything since. So I haven't done anything really over a week, I guess you'd say. Okay? Except for last night. I did 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, let's go to where this is the real important stuff. Where are my numbers? And I haven't checked because I've been working on the course and putting up polishing, you know, polishing it up, checking it out. Let's see here. Let's see where, how much my profile has been. Wow, look at that. Top 4% profile views. Huh. I'm 74 out of, you're kind of getting an idea. I'm now in the top 4% of my network. All right. In 7 days, everybody. Think about what I am telling you right now. Okay, I haven't touched this in 8 days. You know, that is simply incredible. Okay, and I'm a firm believer in showing you what I know how to do. And then this right here, a couple things I did yesterday. Do a little post. Now I talk more about this. I didn't even post regularly. I want that to be known as well. I did not even post regularly. I posted 3 times in a 7-day span. Okay, that's not even what I would recommend you do. I actually recommend you do it morning, noon, and night, 3 times a day. Whether you're sharing your own content, somebody else's content, keep your connections engaged with your message. All right, so let's go home. All right, and so I've only got 1 connection. Let's just see where we're at here. Wow, look at that, folks. Just top 2,000 connections. So this all must have happened when I was putting together my, you know, the Facebook page, the Google Plus page, writing all that stuff up. Oh, almost 20, you know, inching closer to 27 million. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, I have 20 invitations. That's since last night. Oh my goodness, let's take a look at this. Wow, look at that, folks. All right, so I'm amazing myself. Every day that I log in here, I'm seeing numbers and I'm seeing these signs that are just absolutely amazing. All right. I mean, look at that number in itself, folks. I mean, that tells you right there. I had, let me reiterate this to you. I had 63 connections. I had just over 1 million professionals. All this, what you're seeing right here, from a pretty much a, you know, a 5-minute, a 10-minute, and then a 7-day case study at 30 minutes a day, and then last night for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So not even, what, not even 5 hours of actual work. And look what I did there. Okay, I wanted to show true transparency. Let me just show you this spike again. I adjusted my profile. I made a video. Saw a little spike. 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day. Then I started my case study. Then I finished my case study. Can you see this, folks? And I haven't done anything since. And look at that. That's still higher. The profile views is still higher, and the week's not even out yet, than what I had previously. Do you see that? I wanted to just show this. This has been one of the hardest things for me, because 30 minutes a day is not a hard thing for me. But I wanted to show that, hey, even if you back off, look at what you're still getting interaction. I think that's important, because during this time I've been making this guide. Then this is where I realized, like, hey, I'm onto something here. I just showed you I'm in the top 4%. Look at this, 20 connection invitation requests. I mean, even every day, this just amazes me, folks. This just amazes me that these types of numbers are there. So there you go. Let me take the screen back over. There you go, folks. I actually detail exactly everything I do there. I talk about all the connections. I talk about all the actions. I talk about all the little trivial things. I don't even hold anything out. If you know me any length of time, you'll know that what I offer you is what I do. Okay, so what you got to do now, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Google Plus, there's the link below. There's 22s.com/yes to money/LinkedIn Unleashed, excuse me. For those of you who are on Facebook right now, you got a little green button below. I am only taking 100 people into this, and I am shutting this down. Okay, that's it. I am literally, in those 100 of you, see, here's the cool part about that. Those 100 that do this, I'm going to be getting case study results, because I'm going to actually repackage this and launch this on all the other platforms. Okay, I can tell you right now, I've never personally bought a LinkedIn product. I couldn't tell you what anybody else is promoting. I don't care what anybody else is promoting. For me personally, I watched a webinar, and I give credit where credit's due. That guy, Greg Wells, don't know that guy. I saw something. What caught me was his image. He had this as seen on ABC, CNN, and all that stuff. I thought, who is this guy? So I listened to a little bit of his webinar, and I didn't have enough time to even watch all of it, so I actually got off. But I watched a few minutes of it, and I took some of the, like the profile image. I modified it to meet my needs, and I did everything to meet my needs. But I thought it was something that was pretty cool. It stood out, and I thought that was like, wow, that's a pretty interesting concept. But that is when everything changed for me with LinkedIn. Okay, I saw a free webinar, and I changed something. I did something about it. So as I'm doing this for you right now, I know your time is valuable. Okay, as I'm actually doing this today, I'm only accepting 100 of you into this program. Okay, I'm looking for case study results, not only by myself, but for you. Also, I have to state this, okay, that when this hits 100, it's done. Okay, I'm pulling this page down. I'm not even, it's not even a second guess, because too many people, going at using this system, and as with anything, it waters down the material, and people start to abuse things. So what I did was, I didn't ramp this up. I mean, as with any product anybody else creates, something like this, just so you know, it's roughly about 29 to 30 pages, and I have 12 over-the-shoulder videos in there. Okay, and the thing is, the greatest part about this is a case study. So basically, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to evolve this, and I'm going to show you the ways to make it. I mean, in there, I give you every angle that I use, and every way that you can actually start to network inside LinkedIn very easily. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Okay, don't hold anything out. I didn't hold anything. Again, remember, here's the criteria. 1, it had to be free. 2, it had to be easy enough, no matter what your skill level, you can do it. 3, it had to be duplicatable and scalable. Okay. 4, didn't have to use the premium membership. Okay, that was something that was really important to me, because anything I've ever seen with LinkedIn, granted, I've never bought a course, but everyone always talks about get a premium membership, and it's like, why? Why would you need to get a premium membership? I know there's advantages, there's perks, but why? If somebody's going in and they're not, you're just starting out and you want to have success with LinkedIn, you need to do it using free methods. The only paid cost of that is your time. Okay, that's what I overcame. So let me tell you a little bit about me, so where you can get an understanding of what kind of work and what kind of product you're going to get. I'm going to take you back 20 years ago. I joined the United States Air Force. One of the things I did in the United States Air Force was I was that guy that was tasked initially to recreate this tech data, these checklists. I've been one for over 20 years. Okay, I see methods and I see processes, and I have one of those minds where I want to adapt it to make it more simplistic. I don't know if that's just the way I am. I don't know if I always say it's because I'm a monkey. I don't know. If you've ever seen any of the images I have, I've got to learn it to meet my monkey needs. It's strictly talking about me. That has nothing to do with how smart I am or how smart or you are. Maybe I'm sure a lot of you are smarter than me. But for me, even then, I'm one of those people that I have to simplify the process, because I have to understand it. When I got out of the military, when I was in the military, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm really, really proud that I was part of. Some of the checklists that I wrote and some of the things that I took part of were approved by Air Force wide. Okay, two, in fact, and there's a couple things in there, and I'm not trying to give you my resume, but these are things that I did. I think this is the way I was raised. I got out of the military. I was a global field service engineer who, again, I traveled all around the world, and things that I was going through and some of these technical processes that I was having to follow, I just had to make them more simplistic, because when you're interfacing with a customer and you're dealing with multi-million-dollar pieces of machinery and millions of dollars worth of product that kicks out, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about like these smartphones, the laptop, the tablet you're watching this on. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things I supported in the semiconductor industry. And eventually, fast forwarding to my very last job that I had as a safety coordinator, folks, I helped to implement the changes that they currently use right now there. It's just the way my mind works, folks. I'm one that I see a process. If it doesn't make sense to me, I will brainstorm it and brainstorm it and brainstorm it until I actually come out with something that actually makes sense to me. Okay, I'm not saying it's, we'll just put it to you this way: any process I've ever created, it's made very easy for anybody to follow. So that really, what I'm getting at is, I have over 20 years of experience modifying very technical processes. And when I first started with internet marketing, I was intimidated by internet marketing because of the background that I had. You had to be really leery about anything you did, only because it could cost the customer, it could cost, there's a lot of safety things that you have to watch for. There's a lot of, there's a lot of procedural things that you have to be cognizant of. And with all that being said, that's the way my mind works. Okay, so hopefully you understand that. When I put this LinkedIn case study together, it was with KISS in mind. It's keeping it simple, silly. All right, I just don't believe in overly complicating things. For the longest time, that's what I did. I complicated everything because I didn't know these things. I was so foreign, and I was scared. I was intimidated. I'm not ashamed to say that. So what you're getting with this LinkedIn is something that I realized, like, hey, wait a minute. I had an aha moment, and I realized that, hey, all this marketing experience that I have, and just that intuitive nature that I have to change things. And folks, this is not my first product. You can look me up on Udemy. I have 7 products there. I have another Facebook product called Social Tap. I really started focusing on providing products to people. So long story short, I I literally put a 7-day case study and I documented every single process level. I took over the shoulder video and I reviewed everything and thought, it can't be this easy. Is it that easy? And you know something? Think about it. I want you to think about it. When the process is simple and you don't necessarily have to think, but you can just take action, don't you have better results that way? The answer should have been yes there. Okay. For me, I have much better results when the process is simplistic. Okay. So that's exactly how I wrote this guide. All right. So this is your opportunity, folks. I wrote this to fit anybody's skill level. I wrote this for anybody, no matter what. I mean, whether you're intimidated by the internet, because initially I was. That was my biggest downfall initially, was that I was intimidated. Everything I was going to do was going to break the internet. Well, I'll assure you that's not going to happen. Okay. So what do you need in order to do this? One, you need to have drive. What I mean by that? You need to have the drive to want to, network. You got to want to take action. Two, you got to realize this is not just another crappy product that's not going to provide you with any value. That is not the case. I verbatim gave you what took me from 63 connections to overnight, well, now 2,000. Still blows my mind. Still blows my mind to this day that 30 minutes a day can do that for you. The next thing is that it can't be overly complicated. Folks, one of the things I realized, and even though like I picked things up and I got over my technophobe gap, I picked things up really, really quickly. I'm not a programmer. I'm not some whiz kid that way. I'm just not. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm in my late 30s. I didn't really grow up with computers. I kind of grew into computers. And when I first started marketing online 7 years ago, was really the first time I really had to start interfacing with computers regularly. Okay, it wasn't something I was really interested in. I wasn't the guy that, the most technical thing I did was check the internet and the sports page and look at my email. That was it. I didn't do anything technical. So that gives you kind of an idea. But that's really the beautiful part about this whole thing, is it's simple. It's so simple. But it's a process. And the thing is, I gave myself a start time and a stop time. A lot of people make the mistake of you start something and then you go until you're finished. Folks, I was one of those people for many years. Now I realize, like, you know what, you get burned out. It just doesn't work out very well at all when you do that. So, excuse me. But, with all that being said, okay, there's a green button below. And folks, for those of you that are on Google+, you're on LinkedIn, right there, it's 22s.com/yes2money/LinkedIn Unleashed. The reason why I put that, it's a working title. It's a case study, folks. It is absolutely, if I can go from 63 connections to over 2,000, 1 million professionals to almost 27 million in a week, I mean, with less than 5 hours of work, I mean, and folks, okay, remember one of the other stipulations. It doesn't matter if you have a desktop, if you have a laptop, if you have a smartphone, if you have a tablet, it has to work on all of those, period. Okay, so I'm an action taker. That's why you're actually seeing this. Sorry for the initial delay. But like I said, here's the cool part about this for everybody that's on the 22 Social page. Folks, Google 22 Social review. You'll see I'm the very first result of that out of a billion results. Okay, I find things that work and I'm working on it. That's one of the other courses I'm working on right now on YouTube. But when I saw this LinkedIn and I saw the success, I mean, this took first priority over everything else I was doing. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So, like I said, on here, the cool part about this is as you're actually learning this material, you can earn from this material. The great part about 22 Social is they have a pay gate in there. So in order for you to actually, access the content, you got to pay, just click on the green button. You go to secure payment processor, it's PayPal, okay? everything's happening. It happens seamlessly through PayPal. You don't even have to worry about, you know, all these things. I literally finished that course last night. I set up the 22 social page and start setting all this other stuff up. Holy moly. Sorry about that, folks. I stayed up really late last night finishing that product. That's why. So that's what I'm recommending you do, folks. It's only 400 people. You know, I'm a true example of how you can actually, you can fall down, you can make mistakes over and over and over and over and over, and, you know, and then all of a sudden things just kind of, wow, that was easy, you know. And that's how marketing is. When you stop overcomplicating your marketing, that's when things become easy. Okay, and like I said, with LinkedIn, folks, you saw the numbers. Let's do one last look at this. I love looking at this, by the way. All right, let's go back to my LinkedIn page. All right, back to the LinkedIn page. Let's go back to hit home. I love looking at this. Look at that, 2,000 connections. And look at that, I've got 20 connections there. So let me just show you that profile view. You know, I mean, this is just worth noting. Remember, right here, I changed my profile because it's something that I watched. And I thought, pretty interesting information, didn't touch it again. I was like, okay, this is kind of steady. If you look at my profile, pretty steady, okay? And then when I realized I got this boost, here is when I actually thought, hey, I better do something about it. I found something out. I got 20 profile views. Really, really cool. Made a video. Boom. Got the second highest spike up to that point ever on my overall ever. And I thought, really cool. You know, I'm onto something. Then I did, you know what? I had that aha moment because when I made the video, it took 10 days. And saw that's still building from there. That's pretty cool. So what I did 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day. Well, I brainstormed it first. Folks, I literally brainstormed. I was like, what did I do to do that? What did I do to get those results? So I did 5 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day, and this is what you saw. 94 profile views. Then after that, I let it sit. I mean, and then the rest is history, folks. I gave this just as a show, as a true indicator that I have not touched this since October 2nd. Today is now the 10th. So that's over 8 days. I did 3 minutes and 15 seconds last night. Look at that. And then I'm sure once I accept all those friend requests for those connections, this is going to boost up my network. So there you go. Folks, if you want similar results, all you got to do, there's a link in the description below. That's it. That's as simplistic as it gets. It's 29 pages, 30 pages. It's got videos. It's got a lot of examples, and I provide all these secret groups in there, and I tell you exactly how I did it. Okay, folks, and just so you know, I use this 75% of the time, just so you know. So during this case, I didn't even use my computer, but 25% of the time, I use my smartphone. So then there were some changes that happened during this process. So that's it. There's nothing more for me to tell you. Take action. Click on the link in the description below. I'm only providing 100 of these. Once it actually sells out, sorry, I'm pulling this down. I'm going to be looking for results. I'm going to repackage this because this content that I've already sent on to somebody else, their information as they put it to me didn't even have this much in it, and they're selling this for $297. Now, just off of one of the secret groups that I've been talking about in there, and there's 5 in there that actually conclude. So there you go. So take action. Click on the link in the description below. If you're on YouTube, go to 22us.com/yes-to-money/LinkedIn Unleashed. If you're on Google Plus, visit the same page. Folks, if you want to have success with LinkedIn, this is bar none. I showed you. I showed you verbatim exactly how you can do it. So I wish you nothing but success and nothing less. So folks, a couple years ago, I found out my why. And this is what's really brought me to the point now where I want to actually create products to actually help people. Because I was doing these things, But you know, I found out my why. And after getting hacked, I got hacked. I lost a lot of websites, as I told you before. And I found out my why, and that why is to educate a macro community that funds a micro community that feeds a community. Folks, it doesn't get any more simplistic than that. It's an internally built engine. By giving you education, if I can help you to have success, you can fund a micro community. You've helped enough of those. If I help enough of you fund your communities overall as a community, as an overall community, we strengthen ourselves because of the education that we're able to expand upon. So if you want a success with LinkedIn, you need to definitely jump on this. Jump in there, take action, and when you do that, there's no holds barred. All right. As you guys are seeing, at this point, after I launch this product and I get some case study reviews, I'm going to repackage it. Really, I just want to make sure I get this out to 100 motivated people. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. This has been Lee Beatty, obviously with ShareBeat Marketers. And you guys saw a case study course. You saw inside my LinkedIn, and you saw I got 20 connections. How many of you would like to have 20 connections or more a day, hitting you up saying, those are leads, folks. Those are fresh leads that you can market to, that you can interact with every day. Now I'm showing you, take action. Green button below. After 100, I'm pulling it down. Have a great day, guys, and I wish you success. I wish you all love, peace, ease of mind, health, wealth, and happiness. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, and if you guys like the page it's on, if you're on 22 Social, hey, at the bottom, if you want to actually sell this, I'm actually going to put another presentation together, a real presentation. I just finished everything up. I wanted to take action, get it out there. As soon as you pick it up, it's gone. So, all right, guys, green button below. Take care. Have a great day.